Good morning, everybody. Well, afternoon or good night, whenever you're seeing this. This is my morning. I have not really done anything. I am being called to really take it easy. The full moon was last night. This is timeless, but um, it was very powerful. And I feel called to mention these crystals because I actually listened to Alunia, somebody, a channeler that recently, an Akashic channeler, who I was guided to when she first started. And I love listening to the priestesses come through her. Anyway, long story short, this was actually in my book for the full moon, the lunar, for lunar living underneath Taurus. I have, and it's citrine, black tourmaline, and rose quartz. Anything to do with rose, you're going to be seeing a lot of indications about rose confirmation, the rose flower, the name rose. You could be from the order of the rose. So if you are going through your spiritual awakening and experiencing that budding feeling, congratulations. And it does get easier. It does. Clarity is going to come in. It can be a little bit confusing because our psyche, our nervous system, we're experiencing things that we've never experienced before. So, and that's beautiful, Spirit. Thank you. It kind of ties into the astro role that I just performed, which is Pluto in the third house of Pisces. And let me just read this really quick. This brings deep transformation through communication, perception, and the unseen layers of thought. Today's energy invites you to look beyond surface words and feel the emotion or spiritual truth behind what's said and heard. Your mind acts like a psychic sonar, picking up subtle undercurrents and hidden motives. It's a good day to journal, speak from your soul, or explore how your words can heal or empower rather than control. Transformation happens when you trust your intuitive voice and let go of the need to intellectually figure it out. What's already known within. So this is like innate knowing. This is trusting. Pisces is very, it rules the 12th house, which is like, and it's the last zodiac sign. It's like a completion of something. And we are completing a lot because we have two major planets going into 0 degrees of Aries. There's so many shifts, so many beautiful energies. And transformations that are happening within people right now. And Taurus, I have it's funny that this role came out because even with this Taurus full moon, there's a lot of introspection, a lot of I have realizing, what's truly of value. Where am I putting my efforts, my intention, my communication? What am I fixated on? What's causing anxiety and fear? And how can I take that energy and transmute it, transform it and into a new perspective or a new way of viewing it, which will create joy and excitement. It's still the same source energy. It's just being filtered through a belief that isn't valid anymore, which causes misalignment, which causes anxiety and fear. So when we explore anything that has to do with anxiety and fear, we're going to find, it gives us an opportunity to be like, oh, I have anxiety and fear. I'm going to investigate this so that I can transform it into excitement and joy. So yeah, if you did something on the full moon, I can already tell you that it worked. It worked. There is something to be aware of and to watch out for during this full moon time is being stubborn or incredibly stubborn. Also becoming over materialistic because Taurus is about I have, the comfort zone, luxuries, food, looking to the material world for answers and security when we know that we get the byproduct and the benefits of the outside world when we go within. Aversion to change, so much so that you would rather stay in unhappy situations and make excuses for them. That's the downfall. That is when the universe will bring a situation outside of us to change our inner state because we're not willing to change our inner state. And that's not something you want. So quit ignoring the red flags. If there's things that you don't like around you, you have the power and the capability to change them, but you have to be willing to do so. That's for someone. Because, yeah. And it's just funny because when I hear these situations, like I think of my past self. And of course, I know that I had to go through those situations in order to learn, because I can look at it in hindsight. But foresight, we're moving into more foresight. And also trusting with this Pisces, like just trusting some kind of transformative communication. I'm getting like a throat chakra activation. And that's funny. Oh, and then blues right there. The other day, both of my lights got stuck on the throat chakra blue color. And I'm just piecing that together. Being honest with yourself, Taurus I have, but Taurus can also know what's truly of value, nurturing, loving, feeling that reciprocity, somebody getting you getting you, and then finding someone outside of you that actually gets you. Because they get themselves. Thankfulness in the upright. You do something really magical with your hands. Whether it's creating something, whether you speak and you talk with your hands. So Spirit had me kind of take a moment to remind myself, to remind you guys, reminding me to remind you guys. I got this done at a pumpkin festival with my son. It's henna. The woman that did it, beautiful Indian lady. Very, like the way she even gave me a hug. It was very homey. Anyway, her last name was Solomon. So that guided me back to my occult calendar. And I feel it really is important for people to know November 8th. It is technically in the book as the day of Uriel, but depending on what part of the world you're in, north or south will be either Uriel or Archangel Michael. But it's about the four directions. Honoring the four directions. We've got Gabriel, we've got Uriel, we've got Raphael, and we've got Michael. Now, if you have other deities that represent the four directions, honor them on November 8th. It's your call, of course. I'm just letting you guys know so that you have the knowledge to prepare for the date. Today is November 6th, and I do plan on getting this reading out as soon as I am done. So utilize this time just to honor, give thanks to the four directions. It actually is a very, we need the power of directions for spells to know what direction we lay our head to sleep at night. You never lay your head in the direction of north because that's where the magnetic pull is, and it really messes with your dream state. Or maybe play around with it. See how it affects you sleeping north and east and south and west. Okay. We're really going down some holes right now, but that's very important for somebody here right now. Okay. Thankfulness. Thank you, Spirit. I'm like, where am I going? What am I doing? What am I doing? So thankfulness. Thankfulness is a state of well-being that is connected to the law of gratitude. When the virtues of appreciation and kindness are added to thankfulness, it has immense power over depression. It uplifts the mind, body, and spirit. It is a way for the soul to acknowledge its own divinity. It can change every energy in yourself and others. Oh, excuse me, I have cats. I have cats falling, guys. I'm sorry. Hey, guys, what you doing over here? Come on. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so that's significant. Pay attention to your pets. Somebody needs to pay attention to their pets. It can change it can change energy in yourself and others. It chases away negative thoughts such as desperation, resentment, regrets, gossip, discouragement, despair, and has an energy so powerful it sings with a joyful music. This is giving me, like what I just said, is changing anxiety and fear into joyful song. And this is saying it chases away negative thoughts such as desperation, resentment, regrets, gossip, discouragement, despair, and has an energy so powerful it sings with a joyful music. And I'm going to continue reading this, but I really want to add in there, like, really pay attention to that. When you walk into rooms, is it your regret? Is it your discouragement? Is it your despair? Is it your desperation? Is it your resentment? Is there a reason you're feeling that? If it's not yours, then you're picking up on the energy of people in the room, and you need to consciously send it back and say, this is not mine. Oh, little kitty is laying in between my legs. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Spirit. This is, you are the joyful music. You come in and you change people's way. You don't dabble in gossip. You don't dabble in, you know the regrets that you've had in the past. You learn from them. So they're not regrets. You don't have regrets. Or maybe you've seen the bigger picture and you know it's not really regrets, and you bring that energy in for other people. Some people are ready for it and some people are not. We can know who's closed off by their temperament, by if we're picking up on this desperate energy. And we also need to be aware of our own energy when we meet people. Are we already creating expectations? Are we already, creating regrets? Oh my God, I can't believe I said that. You are the walking conduit. You are supposed to be saying certain things. Don't take it personal. God is working through you. And as long as you are thankful, you will always have a full heart and not give away to depression or desperation. You will bring joy wherever you go. You have a lot to be thankful for. Your thankful heart will change energy wherever you go, inspiring all around you. Okay, so if thankfulness is in your cards, you are walking in the right energy to create, to be happy and manifest your ideas. You are blessed and will receive more blessings. All difficulties are not now solvable. Again, your power, the power you hold, it sings a joyful music because you're so thankful. And I'm getting this innate ability to transform. You transform the way others communicate, whether you see it or not, and whether you ever hear about it. They will not give you your flowers. And you've probably noticed that you've had a significant, and this isn't to fill your ego, but this is to show you and remind you of the impact that you actually have when you walk into rooms. Very powerful, very abundant with citrine, very grounded with black tourmaline, and so much self-love with the rose quartz. I don't want to overcomplicate it because I did want to pull from quite a few decks today. So Spirit has a way of bringing all of this full circle. But I'm really getting an encouraging type of read for today. I'm going to touch base just because over here I had already wrote this meaning. And from the blind spot of Teal Swan, this is only a deck that you should get and explore if you are really comfortable with self-criticism, like constructive criticism, self-constructive criticism, and really checking in with yourself. Okay. Because one, there's something about pyramid energy. My son pointed this out, pyramids. And we also have arrows kind of going in a bunch of different directions. And this is number 7. This talks about meaning. The title, the label of this sigil is called meaning. And I'm just going to summarize it. I'm not going to read this whole thing. But your conscious is rapidly expanding. And with all of this psychic energy, sometimes we can take things the wrong way. That's why meditation, contemplation, we can't just trust every little thought that comes in. Now we follow our intuitive nudges because they're leading us to circumstances that we need to experience, whether we want to label them good or bad. They have a lesson. And technically, when you look back, you're going to realize all those things we want to label terrible, bad, traumatic, they were the catalysts. They were needed. We have to have, it's up and down, it's ebbs and flows, it's the wave, but changing our perspective on how we view something. And maybe this is something, oh my God, thank you, Spirit. You're changing someone's meaning, your thankfulness, and how thankful you are for every situation you have ever been in, because you know that there's not a leaf that doesn't fall without God's permission, period. It all happens for a reason. We just have to be like, okay, what is this telling us? Cancer, when people get sick, what is this telling us? Everything is linked back to spirituality. It really is. It's a all mental diagnosis. And I can say this because of what I've been through, what I've experienced, who my mother was, is that these psychological conditions are because people have been gaslit, called crazy, not believed, because a lot of these stories are so absurd. And then they can go into psychosis. There's so many different avenues that this can lead. And who you are, you bring people back to their sanity. You bring them out of the hole. You have an innate ability. You are a conduit. You allow spirit to speak through you without, when you have, no, it's almost like if you know the person very personally and there's attachment, it's a little bit more challenging because there's filters there. But when you are randomly guided, I'm going to give an example. All of a sudden you have the urge to go to the park. And you're like, I didn't even think about that earlier, but it's an intuitive nudge, and you go. And there's somebody at this park that somehow you guys end up starting a conversation, or they notice something, or you notice something, and then it leads on to a conversation. One sentence, one word out of your mouth has the ability to alchemize and change people's perspectives, the meaning that they have given their life. And instead of regret, desperation, all of these low vibrational energies that are going to attract very not so good energies to them, you are flipping it. You're flipping it upside down. Oh, okay, you're flipping it. Okay, I get it. And the flag, there's a flag right there. You're able to uncover the flag for people. And they were very confused. They're going in all these other directions. They're like, oh my God, am I doing this right? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you are guided. They prayed for guidance. They prayed for something. They asked themselves, they asked the universe for something. And you are that one that's in an alignment and has no judgment. You've been there. You've done that. You know that things are much deeper than they appear on the surface. Wow. This is so cool. I need a second though. Ooh. A lot of chills. They don't keep these in between my legs. That's never happened before. So something that's never happened before is about to happen. Let's also see what the spell is for today. Spell to remove unwanted feelings of attraction. So, oh God, there is somebody out there that is the meaning. Okay, somebody is mistaking chemistry with somebody else. It's a wound. You share a wound. You were supposed to come together to trigger each other into a healing. It's not chemistry. It's not like, oh my God, I'm being pulled to them. It's a past life karmic cycle that is trying to close itself out. So if you resonate with that, I would take a screenshot of this and perform the spell. Okay. I do not do all of these spells. When I'm called to, when it resonates with my soul, that's when I do it. I am just here to share what I have with you guys. And if you feel called to, if your soul, your spirit, your innate knowing is guiding you to do that, then please do so. It will be beneficial. Okay. I'm also getting, you should look into doing a spell on yourself to help benefit your journey. So if you're struggling with something, either create or find a spell. You can even ask ChatGPT. You can co-create with the AI. Spirit, I love you, but that's a rabbit hole for another day, I think. Because that's getting into avatars, and we are talking about conduits and you being a vessel for divine energies to come in and communicate to others who might have misconstrued the meaning of something. Yeah, it slipped away. So spirit is giving me the okay. Bhagavad Gita. I love it. I mean, if you've never read the Bhagavad Gita, it's like an $8 book on Amazon, a little red book. I would read it. I would get it. And it's such a short read because they have so many different languages. I think it's 3 different languages. And you just read the English, and there's like a code. There's something that unlocks within you. The more, like, you can read and study what Jesus and Buddha did, but then, or what they left, what they learned and they left. But then you can go further and find the things that they were studying, the things they were connecting with to get them to that point. And that is really fun when you get to keep going down the line, in the timeline, backtracking to see where we've all come from, the stories, what Jesus had actually learned and studied to get to his point. And that's what I think is so funny. It's like Yeshua, Mary, all these amazing masters on the other side are like, hey, we want you to definitely learn your own path in your own way, just like we did, but you can also be better, because they were in a different time and only certain energies were available to them at that time. And we have the ability to access new energies and utilize them. How will we do that? How will we create with these new energies? And that's what God is really looking at. How are my babies going to create from here? How are they going to take this situation and create harmony and balance? You are descendant from the divine. Period, point blank. Everything that's coming out is showing that you are divine. Whenever and wherever there is a decline of religious practice in the world and wickedness becomes prominent, at that time I descend myself in order to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants. As well as to reestablish the sacred law, I appear in every age. Holy crap. What did I say? People are taking meanings the wrong way. They're being led the wrong way. And Spirit is using you, coming down and speaking through you. This is giving me the second coming, because it says I appear in every age. But also every age. You never know when you're talking to a divine being, a god, a goddess. Some of them are conscious of it. Some of them are not. A lot of them are not. And some of them know that they're just not supposed to say anything because it can put people off. If people haven't healed their ego and they hear somebody talking about them being divine God, they're like, oh, what makes you so special? Like, blah, 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 blah. So that's why it's so important to know and discern when it is time to speak. And to be honest, when you're chosen, when you go through the whole spiritual chosen thing and your whole world and nervous system gets ripped up by the freaking roots, you learn. I don't know where you're going with that. Rebirth at the bottom. Yeah, exactly. A rebirth into some kind of divine being. You went through a divine being rebirth. For one who is born, death is certain. For one who has died, birth is certain. Since you cannot avoid either fate, you should not lament it. I'm also getting that somebody might be realizing when you have no attachments, when you're not like, oh, I wish I had done this, I wish I had become famous and this and that, you end the karmic cycle and you don't have to come back because you've achieved everything there is to achieve on this earth plane when you are not thirsty for anything. But if your heart craves and desires, oh, I want to be famous, then that means your soul has never experienced being famous and what it actually means, and the limitation it puts on you, and the false idols that it creates. And then other people don't believe in themselves. Or there was a Reba McEntire episode. Somebody sent her a letter saying, oh, I based my whole life off of you, and to see you get a divorce, like, it completely ruined me. And these people are living through other famous people and basing their lives off of them. That is no way to live. And when Reba came back with, like, honey, I'm sorry that's what you did, but like, I'm not perfect. She was straight up honest, like, hey, I'm not perfect. We all have stuff going on. And for you to base your life decisions off of a celebrity, it's stupid. It is idiotic. You're giving away your power. These people are giving away their power because they're looking anywhere at, what did that say? Yeah. Materialism, Taurus, looking outside of yourself always for validation because you're so desperate, so thirsty, when all people got to do is sit down, close your eyes, be still, and focus on God, focus on the Creator. And if you don't even know what that would be like or sound like, or just leave it be and just put out the call. It will happen. It will happen. But it takes dedication and discipline for them to know that you actually mean it. Or are you doing it for some egoic reason? Or are these people honestly trying to heal? And I don't know where this rant just came from. Oh gosh, okay. I don't even know if I did my intro either. I'm really glad that you guys found your way here. If you're returning, welcome home. It means a lot that you're here, for real. Thank you for that confirmation. And the kitty just went off, so I'm gonna scoot up a little bit. Big stretch, 26:16. So something about 10. There's a 10 difference, maybe just close to 10 cycle. Maybe you were 26 and when you were 36, or from 16 to 26. Maybe that is a 10-year cycle somebody is going to be wrapping up. That's also right around the time of the Saturn return. So looking up Carl Jung, milestones psychologically, psychological astrology to show when the transits are, what to expect when you go through them. This is the same thing with any age group. You can look them up. People, it gives you a breakdown of what to expect. When people talk about midlife crisis, it's not a midlife crisis, it's transits that we all go through. And if they're not in alignment, and if it's not really what their soul wants, then yeah, it can completely uproot and do some stuff. All right. We are going to pull from the Tree of Life. I don't listen or actually watch tarot verse, but it just ended up playing on my phone earlier. It's not a reader I really listen to, but something was like, just let it play. And I was like, okay. And then something stuck out to me because I almost bought a deck the other day, a tarot deck with the Tree of Life, and I didn't. And then when I heard him say the Tree of Life, somebody needs to look into the Tree of Life. I was like, okay. So let's pull one from this deck just to get an idea of what path you're on. It would be that, wouldn't it? I kind of want to cry right now. Pluto at the bottom of the deck. We have this soul triangle. Wow, guys, give me a second. A lot of emotion just came up with this card. You're very mystical and soul-led, and you're bringing harmony to many others. Oh, wow. Whoever you are, you're hands down, you're divine. You are so divine. The power that you hold, people do not understand it. A lot of them fear it because of what has been indoctrinated into them. I see neutrality. I see you do not favor the light or the dark here because you know the truth. You must remain neutral and loving and kind and compassionate, because if you're more light than you are dark, you're out of balance, right? We're out of balance if we're too much in the light and too much in the dark. It's just like the Goldilocks story. Too big, too small, just right. Too hot, too cold, just right. And this has given you this rebirth. Your soul is going through a rebirth. You're remembering something. Success in yoga. You're having some kind of success, you guys. I don't even know if I've ever read this before. I do want you guys to see these cards, though. Not possible. Wow, that emotion that came up was insane. Oh, that's the spirit. Oh, the soul triangle. Okay, a triangle between Gepura and Chesed, and Tifereth. Might, mercy, and harmony. Combining these forces to find a way through many, not always. To find a way through may not always be easy, but will produce soul growth. And as the soul grows, the seas calm and problems are handled with ease. This middle triangle truly embraces the principles of the soul, understanding, might, and mercy. Your guidance is you're in the worlds of mystical connections here, the worlds of the Lord of Karma and the Lords of Peace, of your holy guardian angel. These forces are presenting you with a choice, a way forward that is soul led. It may not be easy, but you'll know what must be done. Maintaining a sense of magic in your life isn't easy. And here you're reminded to check in with the world around you for happenstance. Guidance that appears in your life and makes you smile as you recognize the guides and masters that are walking with you. You could become aware of a harsh reality, a gentle nudge, the calm before a storm, or any other combination of the might and mercy of the universe as you make your way through the energy of this card. You and you alone must decide what energy is needed, where, and when. Silent contemplation could help you hear the voice of your soul. The uncomfortable truth that sit in your body won't go away until they are recognized and acted upon. What did I just say? People have to learn to sit, close their eyes, and go within. Be still. Let the thoughts filter out. And once they do, they stop. It's discipline. Don't allow your mind to trigger your body into getting up out of stillness. Allow it to pass. If it's that important, it will be there when you're done. It's the mind's way. Oh no, we got to protect you. We got to protect you because this ain't going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. Removing your personality from a decision isn't easy, but sometimes it's necessary. That's your personality, the filter I was talking about. You're allowing this personality, this filter to go to the wayside. And again, it is easier with people that we have no connection with, that we don't have any kind of attachment or haven't created some kind of narrative in our mind, labeling them who they are to us. So slow down enough to hear your soul. Meditation is the best way for sure, but use your magic in other ways if you find it easier. What did I say? Put a spell on yourself to help you with meditation. You can create, or you can find a spell, an invocation that you can say on a daily basis. Anything. If you're having trouble meditating and connecting with your soul, you can perform a spell, a ritual, an invocation, which will send a signal to the universe. Hey, she's asking for help with this. Let's send her those. Him, her, it doesn't matter. Use oracle cards. Check in with your astrological chart. Channel. But whatever you do, ask questions of your soul while in the realms of the magical energy. Oh my God. Okay, so now this is kind of flipping from you and to others. Yes, you are this beautiful divine light, but I also feel like you are continuing your rebirth. You are being soul led and you are understanding yourself while simultaneously helping others. And it is about putting our unmet desires to the side and or just at least investigating them, finding out, because sometimes our desires aren't even ours. They were implanted from something in this life at some point in our life, or something that we saw that we're like, oh, that's going to make me happy because society told me that's going to make me happy if I get that. And I'm going to work for years until I get that. And then I'm going to finally get that and realize I wasted years on something that didn't actually bring me the feeling that I wanted. So doing that internal investigation to figure out these things. What is your soul telling you? There's a lot of mystical energy, guys, up here, a lot of divine energy with this Pluto, or I mean Pisces, and then with the Pluto, like you're bringing in new ways of communicating with the divine too. Oh gosh. Man, and I thought yesterday's read was awesome. Jeez Louise. Okay. 3524. Just cleansing the energy, you guys. Felt something a little weird, so. All right, we're going to actually pull a little bit of tarot and find out about what we're going to see if the soul will probably going to be different for everybody, but we're going to find out what your soul is leading you to right now. And also whether you or somebody else has taken a meaning the wrong way. It needs a new perspective. Confirmation with the train. So, Holy Spirit, what is this new perspective? Oh, gosh, sorry, it's a new deck, guys. It's slippery. It's slippery. Something slippery. Okay, I get you. Hands slipping. I did say something with your hands. Oh. Well, all right. I will take reversals. I don't know why, but okay. What is this perception, this meaning that they are taking the wrong way? The chair hit the moon. Being in control is hidden. Two major arcana. A meaning, because there might be a fear of moving forward. A fear of moving forward. Hold on. The Empress? Holy crap. Give me a second, you guys. Oh, move those over so you can see them a little bit. Perseverance and focus is what the Chariot really talks about. And that's what you have. So this new meaning is that others, yes, a lot of people are working from their shadows. There is a lot of darkness, but it's about taking that perspective from the moon, like shadows, threats. It's an invitation to grow. Instead of looking at others as, is this person going to take something from me? Is this person, is this energy have ill intentions? Because if you look for it, that's what you're going to find. So instead, and again, this could be you or this could be other individuals that are around you, that you are speaking to, that you are around in general. But the Empress is all about creativity, loving, nurturing. It's going to take confronting uncertainty with faith in your intuition. You're going to find clarity and you're going to move towards your goals with a renewed sense of confidence. Being this Empress energy. Allowing these energies to attract you, because it's like a moth to a flame, but not it. And you're not their savior. You're just being you and embodying the light. You're very determined. You have a lot of confidence. And if you didn't, it's coming back to you, because it's almost like for a period of time, you were walking in the shadows, you were dancing with your shadow. because you needed to pull out a bunch of lessons and then come back up to the light, back up to your throne, to your abundance, your prosperity, so you can share this with others and help others come out of the things that you were already in. So the meaning needs to change. Instead of viewing it as looking for the shadows within everybody, it's knowing that we were once there too. They are just a younger version of us. We do not compare first graders and sixth graders. It's the same concept. And anybody that does, they're in their ego. Okay? And we have to check ourselves, you know? But I feel like whoever I'm talking to, that's not really a thing for you. So let's see what your soul is trying to tell you at this time. I did just see that there's an energy, a male energy around somebody that is very out of balance and they're juggling something. It's almost like they're two people because there was the Two of Pentacles. So be aware of that. Queen of Cups, it did kind of come out sideways, but I'm not taking it that way because of what I asked. Soul-led harmony. What is your soul trying to tell you? What is... Whoa, that's way too many, baby. Way too many. What is the soul trying to tell the reader? Five of Swords. Very interesting. I'm really getting loving and nurturing. the defeated, like, air quality of some sort. Holy crap. So your soul is trying to tell you that you're being called, or you're being called again. You could be seeing XX. We have the Judgment card and the Queen of Wands. This could be getting you stuck in your head a little bit. Oh, so your soul is saying to love and nurture some kind of air aspect of yourself, something that's making you feel weighed down, defeated, or some kind of regret. We were talking about regrets, or this is just an indication of energies that are around you. But remember, everything is a mirror. So it helps us heal what we have going on. Again, anybody that's feeling a strong chemistry, like, oh my God, I'm pulled and I have no idea why. It's a past life energy. Okay. Explore it. Be honest. This open communication, like, hey, this is what I'm picking up around you. We might have a cycle that we need to close out. I am not talking about getting romantically involved with anybody. I'm talking about being open and honest with your communication, what you're feeling, what you're going through. And if they're open and vulnerable and honest, then you're both going to benefit from it. If they're not, then oh well, you will keep moving forward and they will have to replay some kind of lesson about being open and vulnerable about what's really going on with them. Now, if this is you, love and nurture the parts of yourself that you don't really love. Make a list. I just told my friend this the other day. Make a list of pros and cons, what you like about yourself, what you don't like about yourself. How can you strengthen those things that you don't like about yourself? Because it's in your power and in your control. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Because you have that power. Knight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. You have a lot of creativity coming in. You have a lot of power. I'm seeing actually an independent person. This is all divine feminine energy. Somebody is really tapped into their right hemisphere of their brain, their mysticism, releasing control, surrendering constantly, showing gratitude, thankfulness for every single thing that they have. I feel like you've been through so much in your life. You know how to be grateful and thankful because of all of those not preferred situations. But in hindsight, you know that they're preferred because you wouldn't be who you are today without them. What are we going to close this with? Spirit, please and thank you. Okay. Okay. You're going to have to come out eventually, okay? You're no longer the fool. You know when to put your guards down. You know how to have full trust in spirit, and everybody and everything is a part of you. It's just about discerning which parts of you are they. Are they ones that you've already learned and integrated, and you can be like, no, that's not for me. I learned that lesson. I'm also getting for somebody that you might have had to go through all the lessons, that, like a life review time of actually experiencing it externally, of things you've already went through in the first part of your life, and you're like noticing, like, I already dealt with people like you. I already dealt with this energy. So you're actually just getting a lot more comfortable in helping the shadow aspects and being discerning on what you say and speaking your truth. Thank you, Spirit. Third eye wide open. You've stayed silent long enough. Speak up, stand your ground, and state your perspectives. You will rise to a higher vibration when you let your voice be heard. Third house, you guys, how did we start this off? About communicating, about the innate mysticism that you are communicating to people, whether you realize this or not. And sometimes you could be channeling so hard that you come back at the end of a conversation, you're like, my God, what I was saying was immaculate and amazing, because spirit was using you as a conduit and speaking through you. And a lot of this stuff you already knew. 45. You already knew it. So spirit is able to use your vessel to communicate these things, because unless our vessels right here, right now, learn certain things, they can't come in. I hope that makes sense. I kind of want one more. I don't know why. You're raising to a higher vibration. The more you're speaking up about what you know to be true and not letting fear or the fear of judgment of others. It's like when you walk with spirit, you know you can take the higher road. You do take the higher road. Whoever I'm talking to, like, you're getting me so excited. You're at an impasse with a relationship or situation. It's now time to think bigger, release desired outcomes, and take the most positive course of action. Yes, releasing our desires or figuring out why we have those desires. What do we think that desire is going to get us? Let me be the first one to tell you, ask yourself these questions instead of just doing it. Sometimes, yes, there are things that you're intuitively guided to just do. But desires like, oh, I want to go become famous and move to Hollywood. I did that. It's not what you think it is. Those people are not as happy as you think they are. It comes with a whole other list of situations and whatnot. And a lot of people's souls have actually already been famous in the past life. And that's what keeps them from going there to doing that. Because on a soul level, they already know. And what is this? Harmony, soul led. Your soul is trying to help you realize that something maybe that you desired is not actually for your benefit. It is not aligned with your highest good. It is what society has taught you or said would bring you happiness, bring you lasting, sustainable joy and excitement, and it's false. Strategy and planning. Your actions have taken you to a new phase in your spiritual evolution. Now is the time to plan and strategize for the highest possible outcome. And if you don't know what that is, pray, meditate, contemplate. Pray, meditate, contemplate. Pray, meditate, contemplate. Keep doing it. Creating a habit, micro habits. What is it? James Clear, Atomic Habits. Also, there's another one. I just can't remember off the top of my head right now. Oh, Energy Codes. Energy Codes has a lot of good exercises, and that was the book that actually helped me bring up my Kundalini energy and kind of enact part of my spiritual awakening. So that might be something you want to look into. But with that said, you guys, I'm closing this reading out. I hope you found it entertaining and insightful and helpful in some kind of way, because it looks like you're right exactly where you're supposed to be. Take a breath, take a deep breath, investigate this Five of Swords energy, even elaborate. If you have a deck, I would just be very intentional. Be like, what is this Five of Swords energy? Pick three or pull out three cards, or whatever three cards flip out, read the meanings and really digest the meaning that it's giving you, because it's going to be different for everybody. We all have different limiting beliefs or regrets or whatever. because you're being initiated into the fire. The tiger, the deer are with you, the lizard. You're rising from the ashes. I feel like you're going to be called to do some rituals and ceremonies. This divine lineage, you have knowledge that nobody else possesses. You came here with a blueprint, a staircase, Jacob's ladder, the ark. The ark within oneself. Covenant. Okay. Spirit's kind of somebody, yeah, with the rose coming out, Order of the Rose, Lady of the Rose, the ark, Jacob's ladder. Somebody's definitely going through a spiritual awakening. And if you've already went through one, you're going through another. We have multiple. I know from what I can remember of this life, I have had two. So I know for a fact you can have more than one. So if you're listening to this and you've already had one, you will be having another one. This is not to frighten you. This is to prepare you. And remember, this is an evolution of your soul. We cannot take anything with us. Everything is here for our liberation. It is about who you are on the inside. And what I see here, it's like the hangman, all the sacrifice, flipping your world upside down, seeing the world for what it really is giving you this enlightenment so that you can move forward and help the one, the all, God, source, heal. Because there are shadow aspects of the source that are ready to come to be brought to the light. Okay? Your perseverance, your ability to love and nurture even those exhibiting the devil energies. Now, what they do with that is on them. But you stay rent-free in people's minds because of this magical way you communicate, the magical way you speak your truth, because you allow this mystical, magical Piscean energy to just flow through you, and you know how to take the higher road. You're like, resentment or maybe none of that's going to benefit you, me, us in the long run. And you know that. So investigate what this Five of Swords is. And it could be, let me see, is somebody like around them? Ooh. This might have been from, I'm seeing the Ten of Wands in reverse. This could have been, yeah. Maybe you put a lot of work into something in the past and it never paid off, and you're just like, and for somebody, it might be stuck in their head that, like, I already did this once before, but you didn't have the knowledge, you didn't have this judgment, Archangel Gabriel, some kind of vital information that was needed in order for you to succeed and keep going. And it's almost like Spirit saying, it's not going to be like last time. That's what I'm hearing. It's not going to be like last time. This is new. This is going to, because you're new, because you've rebirthed, because you realize you're a divine descendant and you have the power. I love you. The universe loves you. Everything's working out for your best and your highest good, guys. Until next time.